all that. All day. All that. Right. Getting prepped. Now, can I see chat filter? No. Community moderation? No. Nothing like that. But we will do a Q&A thing. Okay. Question and answer. Sorry about that. I had to grab the charger. How you doing? What's going on? What's going on? Sorry, Alex. How you doing? Swenska. What does that mean? Padre Swenska. ¿Qué es esto, cabrón? Alright, so we're where we left off yesterday with our pieces. But now that we have been doing priming, I'm seeing a lot more. Move that over here a little bit. That didn't work. Thank you, Bobrix, for joining the channel. Move it up there so we can see the actual pieces. What does that mean? Trater do Svenska. What is that? I don't speak Swahili. Gotta be a little bit more descriptive there, Alex. Well, thank you for joining. Here we are at the shop. So now that we've given everything 2 coats of primer, I'm noticing that we have a lot of smaller repairs to get done. So I'm gonna use the wood filler, go through some of them today. But first, and what's more important, is we're getting bleed through. Now, what bleed through actually is color that is stubborn and wants to penetrate these layers of whatever we got on top there. And it's a real pain in the butt. So I've gone over just with a little bit of wood filler on the spots that I know need it, and we are already there. But I noticed a lot of other small little things that we'll fill in afterward. But for now, I've got to get to sanding. We got to find these little areas and get to it. Put that on. And so yeah, I'm gonna wait maybe a little bit more people coming in the old live here. I think YouTube takes a little while before they start to, you know, punch out the algorithm to more people and all that shit, but we'll wait around and see. If you are there, if you are watching, please leave a comment. Would you sub if you're a woodworker? Would you sub if you love to refinish pieces? You let me know. I'm there for you. So I don't want to have to take the camera around and show you guys every little nook and cranny, but believe me, you can view my short videos and you can see where exactly the problems are that I'm fixing right now. But they're very minimal. They're in the cracks of all these little spindles. They got to be just sanded out real quick. And then another quick spray of the primer, and then we are good to start our first top coat of paint. And I think because of all these little repairs and everything, I think I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow to begin the very first coat of paint, because this wood filler here, I really prefer it to be completely dried out, 100% dried out, you know? And that does take a little bit of time to cure. But we're getting there. It's really looking good. I do like how they are actually clean pieces. I'm dealing with clean surfaces. Thank you for the like, Mark. Dealing with clean surfaces, so we're ready to go. Thanks for the like, Marcus. Thank you, Marcus. Answer the question and subscribe if you like woodworking DIY channels. Homemade garages. This is the ground floor for the channel, guys. Get it. Get that subscribe in there. This doesn't look too bad over here, over there. Just a quick swipe. There. There. Not a lot of prep is needed at all. Yeah, the primer did a good job, but like I was saying in my short video before, 80s, they were using some pretty strong chemicals for the woodworking edition. Pretty strong chemicals, and they weren't always the cleanest. The factories weren't respected, and the safety regulations weren't in place as they are today. So, with 80s pieces like this, you're going to see a lot more of, you know, dirty wood. It gets dirty. Simo Butts, how you doing? Thank you, brah. Thank you, my guy. So yeah, I appreciate you coming through, man. Mr. Marcus, miles and miles away, Mr. Marcus. Miles upon miles. It's been a long journey from Milan to Minsk. Rochelle, Rochelle. How long journey? Like life's in the pits. Rochelle, Rochelle. Oh. Would you subscribe if you like DIY woodworker channel? Would you subscribe? You get it? Would? Nothing. Okay, so there's one bit on here that needs a wood filler. I think this surface is good. I think that's all we need for the sanding. This one didn't have any bleed through at all. This piece was really good, but the top itself, as you can see, like except for the exception of these two bits right over here and here, it's pretty discolored. Like you can see how it's yellow. So that's bleed through. That's what we're avoiding. That's why we're using primer. You know, when I was just starting out woodworking, I never used primer because we never used paint on woods. We were going straight from one wood finish to another wood finish. We'd have to sand it down, rechange the color, you know, stain it, and then get it back. And then once I started painting wood, I was like, hey, what's this prime? I don't have to prime. I just kept painting away. And then I had this one piece, I think it was made in 1982. Like I was just saying a minute ago, these chemicals back in the 80s were a lot stinkier, a lot dirtier. And then I really had a lot of problems with the bleed through. Which one was that? It was the two tables, the two side tables. I can show them to you in another video. Actually, there will be another video on them because they're the first two pieces that I finished, or second pieces that I finished. And they look really good, but I did have a lot of growing pains, as it were. And I haven't put them on the market just yet. Well, I did put them on the market, but I put them at a blown out price just because I wanted to wait and see. First, if I sold them at a high price, that'd be great. But I also wanted to wait and see if the primer did its job by holding back all the bleed through, and so far it has. So I've got those. I've got two finished, well, three finished pieces. Two is a set, two side tables, and then another nightstand. And so all three of those pieces with these pieces, and there's another table that I'm going to do before we get into, I've got a really nice project I'm going to show you in a later video coming up. Really nice piece from 1927. It's all original. It's been taken care of like very well, and it's very minimal repairs. I just wonder, you know, right now I'm into painting furniture. I want to give my artistic touch to everything, but my instinct for that one is telling me to just strip it down, pick another color, and add it, and, you know, say la vie, said the old folks, because it is a beautiful, beautiful piece of old world furniture. And when I was doing the refinishing, when we got a piece of furniture that came in from a customer, and it was a painted piece of furniture, and they said, oh, we want this changed to wood, we knew that was going to be a headache. An absolute nightmare, and I dreaded having pieces that were painted because it gets into the grain, you got to remove it all. It's just a real hustle. But this is looking good. I'm just going to do a little bit more filler. Let me check the drawer faces here. Doesn't look beautiful, but it does have bleed through. Okay, let me show you. There's a great example. Exactly what bleed through is. The camera's focused now, so you can see that those markings there, brown, they almost look like rust coming through. That is bleed through. And basically, it's not on the top of the drawer, but it's on the bottom of the drawer. You know why? Because they've spilled something on the top of this, and it's trickled down and it's saturated here. It looks to me like the drips have gone right through the finish into the wood, which sucks. So I'm just gonna give that a quick sand it back to the wood. We'll give it another primer coat. Have to get up there in these crevices as well. So it's unfortunate we got to take it all back, but that's what it's all about. Now the primer is in these crevices. By sanding it, you're just giving it another area to grab onto. My bro. What a guy. What a man. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a man again. Yeah, I'll see you, buddy. Enjoy your nap. Your little nap. So this is the other drawer. It looks great. It's fine. Nothing happened to it, but it needed a little bit of a repair on the very face, which is done now. So with your hand, you don't need to use a power sander for this little bit here. Just make sure you're sanding it till it's nice and smooth. If you could avoid taking off too much of the primer, that's even better. Like, that's a good sanding job by hand, but close your eyes and feel it. That feels pretty darn good to me. Actually, it feels better than the rest of the drawer, so I'm going to give the rest of the piece a little scuff, because we got to go over it with the primer anyway. So why don't we give the whole piece a little bit of a scuff sand. Beautiful. Just do the same thing on the top. One little stripe that way, one little stripe this way, and that feels smooth as an egg. Then we're good to go. Okay, you know the other one? Well, you know what? Because it makes such a difference, I may as well just scuff sand the whole piece real quick. Guys, if you're into woodworking and you like DIY channels, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm here pretty much every day doing these small repairs. We are painting this piece. We're going to do this, we're going to make these two pieces match, even though they're completely different. You know, one's square, one's round, one's got these nice filigree cathedral kind of legs. This one has these spindly kind of completely different styles, but we're going to make them match using paints and accents and hardware. That's all going to kind of come together in the end. Seeing another, again, once it's primed, you're going to see all the stuff come out of the woodwork. You're going to see all these little imperfections that you don't want visible in the paint. So I see a little nodule right here that's poking out. And fill it up with a little wood filler. And then we'll come and address that a bit later once it's dry. Okay. Throw another piece here. Get a little discoloration down here. Now, darker color. Okay, forget the name of it. Let's see. The name is Deep Navy. Deep Navy, and that's going to be the color right there. So it's a nice dark color. So none of this bleed through should really show through. I'm just doing this for my own kind of peace of mind and practice, right? You gotta practice all these little nuances before you get down to the gritty nitty. The gritty of the nitty. The grittiest of the nittiest. Juiciest of the juiciest. Everything really easy, really light, just with your hand. I'm not going to hit these spindly areas so much, not the adhesive areas too much, because we still have to do a sand over the whole thing. We've got a lot of repairs to do. Guys, feel free to comment and subscribe if you just joined the channel. If you're getting into the ground floor, we're just starting this new channel. It's called Rockwood Restoration. Hit that subscribe button right up there, guys. Have some fun. Join me. We've got videos coming out every day. Actually, one of my shorts was just released at 2 p.m. So under half an hour ago. If you want to go check that out, come on back. Basically talking about what we're about to do today. And I don't think we're going to get as far as I had hoped. Okay, so now we've got flats. There's a big flat surface on this piece here. So what we do, with a nice, easy, flat surface, is get a block. That's too harsh. Next sentence is too harsh. 120, I want a 240. That's 112. There we go, 240. So, what you want to do? Thank you, sir. Who's that? Oh, miss, pardon me. Isabel. Flowers. Oh, Flores. Yeah, welcome. Thank you so much. Please make sure you subscribe. You're number 3. Who's number 1? Alex is number 1. Seymour Rutz is number 2. You got your number 3 there. So 240, just around a little sanding block here. This is too harsh for the sandpaper, and I used this on my drywall before, so you don't want to cross-contaminate. But we're doing a nice flat surface here. This needs a repair up here, so I'm just going to do this small area down here as a scuff sand. We've got 2 layers of primer on here already. We don't need to do much, it's just a scuff sand. Primer always leaves the pieces feeling just a slight bit sandy, a slight bit rough. We're just going to take away those bits. Easy as that. Oh, jeez. Don't drop it, everybody. Don't drop it. That feels beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Now these flat bits in the middle here, why not? All right. Here. And there, all these little flat bits, just make it. Believe me, if you do this sanding step, you will not regret it, especially because I'm using chalk paint after this. We're not spraying anything else on top of these surfaces, so I'm prepped and ready to go. A little bit of wood filler on that side there, and that's it. That's it. I'm going to take one last look around, but I believe that's it, and we can begin painting. But I feel like I have to do one more coat of primer just to keep it even. So we will spray again after the wood filler is dried. But I think it's pretty much dried by now. Especially that stuff I did a lot earlier. Okay, let's just fill this last bit in. Now I wish I could show you a little bit more close up. Because I don't use the wood filler like a lot of other woodworkers use the wood filler. I actually do it a little bit differently. And I've shown you in other videos, in my short videos, how exactly I treat this product.
I've never seen anyone use
The way I use it, warming it up, getting the molecules and the grains of sand all the way into the repair, so you don't have to, like, most times when you're using wood filler, you would use it once, sand, you shouldn't need to go around for a second coat. Make sure you like the video, guys. Subscribe if you're liking it so far. Check out the other shorts I've got. One just dropped about a half hour ago. But in the meantime, we're here for you guys. Like and subscribe. If you like the content now, you'll love it in the future. And we're doing nothing but lives every single day. And postings and lives and postings and lives. It never ends. So. How are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Because I'm feeling good about this. Now you might ask yourself, why are you going in circles? On sandpaper, typically you want to go with the grain or against the grain or whatever. When you're doing circles, you're trying to plane an area, smooth the area flat. That's all I'm doing here. Getting this area nice and flat. And normally I'd be wearing eye protection and face protection if I'm using a sanding, sanding machine. But when you're doing this hand sanding, it's not imperative to have all the appropriate safety gear. Yes, this will be airborne, but not for long. If you're using an electronic sander, you gotta be careful. It goes everywhere. Okay, this is the last little repair here. Make sure that's good looking and flat and feels good. If you ever wonder if you can feel it and you're not sure, close your eyes and try and find the repair. I know where it is because I'm stupid. And down here it's a bit rougher, and up here it's smoother. But I cannot feel where the repair started and the actual finish ends. When the repair ends. So I'm going to go ahead and go full. Come full. That's good there. I can see something. It's one little thing over here. I'm not going to worry too much on the legs with a piece like this because we don't really have to. Why? Okay.
Now, once that
Very last repair finishes on the other piece there. I've got one little bit. Once that dries, I sand that down. I'm going to spray it with primer. So let's get the primer and the gun, the paint sprayer, all prepped and ready to go itself. Nice and simple. Flick of the wrist. And the clip of the craft. And the clip of the bit. Okay. Down she goes. Alright. There's our primer. Everything that I'm using, guys, all the tools are in the links below. I don't think this kill standard is in that because it's availability. It all depends on your area and your availability. But what I would recommend, if it's not in the links below, is use moderate to high quality products. okay? Because the cheaper the equipment typically, the cheaper the product, typically the cheaper the finish. And you want high quality finished products. Don'tches. Now, this show you guys another little tip of the trick of the trade. So where's the paint go? Pardon me. You have one problem, but it's an easy fix. Quick solution. So with the paint sprayer, it's got only a little container here, and I can tell it's still got some product in the bottom there, so I'm going to quickly give this a little water wash. Hang on a sec. I have water right here. Awesome. So as you can see here, the hole for the paint sprayer part here is really small. It's super small. You don't want to grab a gallon of paint and just start pouring it in there. You might make a big mess. So I'm going to show you a real quick, easy DIY solution to get around that. All you need is painter's tape. So you've got your paint sprayer container there. Okay, open up your primer. Now with all primers, especially water-based primers, you really got to give them a good mix every time you open the can. So that's the first thing we're going to do here. Okay, anyone's in the room right now, please comment and share, guys. Please, if you can, subscribe if you like DIY, if you like woodworking channels. I'm here pretty much every day doing this thing. We're making two pieces kind of match, very different pieces match right now. Check out the channel as well. We got a lot of short videos. I'm also filming everything in the studio as we speak, and I'm going to be doing a voiceover, long-form content video pretty soon. So this is all on the ground floors, guys. I've had lots of YouTube channels in the past I've helped and I've worked on for myself with varying success. And this is the ground floor, guys. Let me know you're a fan now, so that when I do have some giveaways after I'm 1,000 subscribers deep, I do have some giveaways. I will be recognizing the first few people that kind of kept me going, you know. A lot of these big YouTubers and big celebrities online that you see now, they always say the same thing when it comes to their success story. There was always that one spectator that showed up every day. There's always that one person that was there encouraging me every day, just like my vibe. And that one person kept me going. And then the week after that, I had 8 subscribers. The week after that, I had 20 subscribers. You know what I mean? It doesn't take long. I've only been doing this racket. This is probably my 12th day here on this new channel. Like I think I've been on it for 20. Like the channel's probably a month old now, but real nitty gritty work. I think this is 12 or 13 days in, and I've got 60 subs, 65 subscribers, something like that. Maybe more now. I don't know if you guys have subbed, but we're going to be able to get some graphics on here. I need to get up to 500 subscribers, and we'll be able to get some other effects on here and have some fun with it. So paint is mixed up, and I'm showing you guys a little trick of the trade right now. I gotta pour this big container into this small container. And so the pouring might be a little bit askew, and I don't want to use a paint filter or a funnel. You just want to be able to pour it with a little bit more ease. Okay, you want to get 2 strips of tape about 6-7 inches long, and you're going to put it on one end of the gallon, just like that. Okay, very easy. Nice and secure. Take another piece, just the same length, just like that, and bring it to a point right here. So what that's going to do is that's going to concentrate all the paint into one air. Obviously, it's going to help you pour. Look at that. Great little DIY solution. And like I said before, normally I would be using a paint filter, but this primer, for some reason, does not run through that filter. Let me show you. I don't want to show you. You know what, we'll show you in another video. I'll write that in there. There you go, look at that. We're pouring it perfectly. I'm going to fill this up quite a bit, even though we're not using a lot. Okay, and for those of you skittish and don't want to get dirty, you don't really have to wash this part, but you scoop it with your finger, plop it back in there, scrape it off, take your nice and clean up top here. I don't care what they do. We'll go ahead and get nice and doughy. I'm gonna go wash up and put that lid on there unsecurely. Just make sure it's got a seal. Kiss my rose on my hand. And quick to give my hand a wash, and we're gonna get right to it. I gotta get some water as well because the primer does need a little bit of watering down to go through the gun properly. So we'll do that. I see Seymour Rutz is still watching me for the most part. Okay, we add a little bit of water. All you need. And the primer is very thick, and you don't want it to go through the gun and get all cloggy and blotchy and shit. You don't want it to spit out of your gun. You want it to flow out of the gun, right? So that's it. That's all. It's got a nice little bit of water in there to cool it off. I'll be right back when we wash up. Not be with a splinter, a ruler. All right, we are back. So we're washed up. We're good to go. We're gonna get our sprayer locked into place. Locked in. There we go. 1.5 turn there to seal it in there properly. Now, from there. It's a bit of a tussle. There we go. It's very stiff. Where is that? How do you get stiff on the boy? Maybe because it's got too much liquid in now. Gotta clean it out. The paint gun. Now we can talk about this paint gun for a minute. It is in the links in the description below. It's a beautiful, beautiful paint sprayer. It only costs, I think, about $150. It comes with enough equipment so you can do paint finishing. You can use polyurethane. You can use water-based. You can use oil-based. Any product that can really handle. But just like any sprayer, there is a little bit of maintenance and some natural wear and tear that you gotta keep your eyes peeled for. But the main thing is when you're done using it for the day, not just for the moment, for the day, you do have to give it a nice thorough clean. Take it all apart, make sure everything is clean, and it comes with pipe cleaners and all kinds of stuff you can clean it up with. But for me, for what I want, for what I'm using it for, it plugs in and it sprays fairly evenly. It's no fuss, no muss. And now I just cleaned out that little inner bit there, so now we can change the orientation of our spray with ease in the middle of spraying. So when it's going up and down like that, see these two teeth? When they're up and down like that, then your spray is gonna go like this. If it's the opposite way, then your spray is gonna go like that. So keep in mind, if it's gonna go like that, you wanna spray this way. So if these things are going horizontally, you want your action to be in the horizontal manner. If they're the opposite way, facing up and down, then you want your spraying to be predominantly vertical, in a vertical motion. Okay? Da-da-da-da. That's it. That's all for now. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. So this is the last repair before we put one final coat of primer on here. this is my very first furniture paint job with the new channel going here. Like I did one project already, and I'll show you it. I call it the Aladdin side table or nightstand, and it looks like it's the color of the genie, right? And it's got some secrets in the which I like. It's got a secret drawer, and it's all felt and inside. It's really cool. These ones are going to be. This one here is going to be a lot of fun though. To match these up, these guys. This is here one, the square one, got the round one. I just put down on the ground for now. Got a paint sprayer ready. I'm going to do the drawers first. Move them inside. Then I'm going to do the square one. Move that inside. Then I'm going to do the round one. Move that inside. Then everything's ready. The inside is nice and warm. I've also got the fireplace going, so it'll cure the primer a little more evenly than outside here in the cold weather. Temperature really does matter when you're using product. Having said that, if I'm staining or sanding, it's not really that imperative, because with stain, you're just getting the grain wet with the stain, and then you're wiping it away and letting it dry. So the temperature factor isn't huge on stain, but you always want to work in a nice warm, non-humid, dry kind of area, right? So just a small garage like this with a space heater. I've got in the links below. I just picked up the Mr. Heater portable buddy heater, and it fills up this room with heat. I only used it for about an hour today on low, and that's all I need to use it today for so far. Doors are closed, everything's sealed up, and it's brilliant. It feels really nice and warm in here, so I'm happy about that. Next step, the final step. We are again going to take our block, the sandpaper, using our sanding block. I don't like this grit, so we're going to go ahead and just wrap this sandpaper around it. And you can't see the repair from there. I might have to move the camera a bit. There's a small little bit here. I did one wood filler, and I can tell just by rubbing my pinky along it, right there, it's not dry yet. So we are going to have to hang back, and that's it. That's the last of it. And then we're going to do one final coat of primer. Guys, this is an exciting moment. For me, maybe not for you, but for me, pretty fucking cool. Like and subscribe, comment, and share if you can. It's possible you share it around. And nothing too exciting going on today, but we do the lives every day. If you know anybody that's into woodworking, into DIY small shops, we were getting into the ground floor here. We've just started this channel about 20 days ago, or maybe just under a month now. But this is like my 12th or 13th day really concentrating on the channel, and we are really doing a good job, having a good time, getting a good attentive audience. And I've just released a short that was published 40 minutes ago. So if you want to go to my channel real quick and check out the short video, I don't blame you for that. Have some fun, check it out. Right now I got a whole break. Literally waiting for paint to dry. Which is cool. It's cool. Right, baby? You always had a deja vu. One of those. I'm highly satisfied with the surface over here. I'm going to do a little bit more wood repair. Damn. I was done with this. But patience is a virtue, yes? Virtue. It's a privilege, not a right. Just like spandex. Okay, so maybe now you can get a little bit of a clearer idea of how exactly I use my wood filler, because I don't do it. I don't use it like normal people would. So this is the area I'm going to be filling right here. So that area right there, it's just a little blotchy. The grain isn't doing exactly what I'd hoped it to be doing. And I see this area here. And, I'm just going to connect them. I'm going to do this big area right here, and then what I'm doing. It's done. Decision is final. So here we go. I get a lot of the wood filler. There's a big old snake of this stuff. And I like to rub it in. I get the molecules nice and warm. Just like you're mixing up peanut butter in the jar before you want that peanut butter nice and creamy, right? You gotta work those molecules in, and finally it'll become a nice paste. And then you'll be able to swirl it into all these little nooks and crannies and grains all the way through. Takes a little more patience to get into that consistency, but once it's there, it's so much easier to work with. So then we got a lot of access. Scoop it off, put it over there. Scoop it off, leave them all over there. Scoop that off as well there. We got those little bits. These are all workable bits. Right there. And there we are. That should do it. I think this is all we're going to need. It's great. So, and if because wood filler hardens pretty quickly, and if you're having a moment where you're finding it harden before it's drying, right, before it's dry, you can get it back to a wet state just by adding a little bit more product to it, and a little bit more fresh product to it, and working it in, and it'll kind of rejuvenate the existing product that's already there. Okay, we're done. Let's scoop off the rest there. We don't need this anymore. Done. Let that dry, let that cure. And while we do that, we're going to sing us a song. Thank you for the like. I see we got 2 likes now. Finally.
it's hard to get likes on.
On the live videos. The live videos. Okay. Now with the wood filler, wash it off. It's easy to wash off while it's still wet. Thank you for the viewership, guys. Thank you for the likes. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're enjoying the woodworking channel, if you like DIY, you want to learn how to do small things in your garage, like, just repairs around the house and refinishing wood. This is Rockwood Restoration. I am Justin. We've done a pretty interesting commission piece so far that's proven to be a pain in the padded ass. But we're getting through it. Slowly but surely. Don't call me Shirley. I told myself I wouldn't concentrate on the lower half of this. This one here, it needs some serious attention. I forgot about that guy. Give it all a good scraping, yes.
That's it, that's all.
So once this wood filler dries, we're going to go over with the primer. And then we are pretty much good to go. I really hope I can get to the painting of the actual product today. But again, I don't know. But we're having fun so far.
Spraying's next. There, I think.
This camera needs another angle as well.
for now.
Okay, so I just flipped up all the cameras for a minute now, because we gotta wait for this to dry. Yeah, paint filler, wood filler needs just a moment or two, dry it up, take it easy. This is where you relax and, sing a song for your audience, if you had one, Justin. So, after this, it is just simply sanding and spraying. I think I'm gonna get off the live for now, because we're not doing a lot of work just yet. One thing I don't like about doing one project at a time, working in a small space like this, is just the waiting between steps. You know, you have to wait between steps. You've got to give it that little. Anyway, I'm going to end the live for now, but thank you so much for joining up. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this in the future, today's date, I believe, is the 8th of January, 2026. We have just started this channel. We've only run this channel for about 30 days now. Please subscribe, like if you haven't, like the video so far. If you could share my channel with some people that you may know or may not know that they enjoy DIYs or woodworking channels. I'm a wood refinisher. We're going to refinish this, and we're painting these pieces, which is actually a little bit counterintuitive, but they were in pretty bad shape. If you wanted to watch the shorts from before, you can kind of see the progression on these two pieces here. Well, it's this one here and this one here. What we're doing is we're making these two completely different pieces match. They're going to look like they were part of a set, and I'm going to sell them as a set, and you're going to see exactly what that's like, the whole process. Okay, until then, guys, keep your stick on the ice, and remember, if you can't fix it with duct tape, you're not using enough duct.